Hare Krishna. One more time, full surrender. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, come and sit for a few minutes. It says if you ask us some Hare Krishna, we will go to some Kirtan.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. I know the Sri Prahalad Prabhu needs no introduction, but it's for purification, my purification. So Sri Prahalad Prabhu started his Krishna consciousness in childhood, and at the age of 5, he joined Gurukula. So he was sharing with me, he is born in New Zealand, and because there is no Gurukula in New Zealand, family moved to Australia. And also he was in Gurukula in Mayapur, India. And you all know, you saw the famous video at the age of 12. So he was protesting and requesting and appealing to the authorities as well, Soviet era, Gorbachev, to release the devotees, Hare Krishna devotees who are imprisoned and have been tortured. So Prabhuji wrote a song, and he has been going to each of the press, where the newspapers, and then to radio stations. Hey, I have an important message I want to convey to the world. And that's how he was propagating and protesting this. And while he was doing this, one of the biggest companies, audio companies, don't have recording companies, EMI, you all would have heard. So they saw, and the chief of that, he saw, and then, can you record? People will be lined up to get a recording, and he himself approached Sri Prahalad Prabhu, can you record this? So Sri Prahalad Prabhu sang for them, and then other side of the record, he has to record. And they wrote it along with the children's from Krishna consciousness. So he wrote another song basically for peace, because that time peace talks were going on with Gorbachev. So that's another thing. And he personally saw that the Prime Minister of Australia, I remember. So he was going to Gorbachev for a peace talk, and he was representing the Jewish people who were kind of restricted in Russia and imprisoned, and they were not able to go to Israel for their practices. So Prabhuji, then once he knew about this, then immediately he contacted the Prime Minister's office in Australia. Hey, I have another letter. Can he take it to the Gorbachev's peace talk? And they accepted the letter, and that letter was taken by the Prime Minister personally to Gorbachev and gave it to him. And after a few days, all the Hare Krishna devotees were released from the prison. And actually, personal note, I met Sri Prahalad Prabhu in 2001 when I was working in Seattle. The first time I heard, and I was completely, bought out for Kirtan. That's my inspiration for Kirtan. And he has been going to different yoga studios, and he's a PhD by profession, and he's a professor. He teaches in universities. And I was telling yesterday, Indra Swami Maharaj, he got introduced in Hanover. He's telling there is a spiritual connection. So out of all the universities in US, somehow your firm is inviting him for talks and conference. So that's the reason he's here. And when I met him in South Sangha retreat, I said, Prabhuji, why don't you visit? And Prabhuji is telling, you have a strong desire, let's see what happens. And then immediately after like a few weeks, I get a call. So I'm coming to Michigan. So we are so fortunate to have him, because he's all through his life he led Kirtan and amazing Bhagavatam class, as Kishore was telling this morning. Amazing, speaker, because he has in-depth knowledge and he preaches principles from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam to corporate world, how they can apply on the practical application. So we are very, very, very fortunate to have him, and with your enthusiasm, please chant 3 times Haribol so that he will come again and again and again. So if you chant very loudly, I am going to share another good news. Haribol! Haribol! So another good news is, though Prabhu is right now I think in London, and he's coming to Australia, and of course he's born in New Zealand, but Krishna willing, he'll be moving to United States of America. We will have more and more of this association, and so with more and more enthusiasm, if we participate, Prabhuji will be coming and blessing us. Thank you very much. Sorry, I took a little long, but there is more and more and more to talk about.
He was also involved in Panchatattva installation.
Panchatattva installations, and he does amazing Pujari activities, the Vedic activities. He just saw small Gurukul children in Mayapur doing this, 5 sacrifices. He said, like, this is what I want to do. And he was proficient in that. So you name it, he is into everything. Academics, music, he goes into different circles. If you see, like, his attraction to the holy names, and he traveled with His Holiness Indra Maharaj for 18 years. So I still remember the diary chapter of His Holiness Indra Maharaj. He was in tears when Sri Prahalad Prabhu separation, because he wanted to go into academics, and Maharaj actually cried. So you can imagine what kind of a devotee Prabhuji is. So thank you again.
He also teaches the leaders of ISKCON and GBC college.
Yes, he is a part of teaching to the ISKCON leaders. Bhakti Rasayan Sagar Maharaj has that, in Mayapur, and also Prabhuji himself, GBC, he trains. So.
Oh, that's it.
Right.
Thank you. And I was told yesterday, it is news to me, I don't know, that he knows Krishna book by heart.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for that very kind introduction and very warm hearted welcome. We have some minutes available, and so I thought we can talk some Hari Katha and then we can chant some Kirtan as well. In the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj asks to be told about the universe in which we live. And so Sukadeva Goswami describes the upper planetary systems and the lower planetary systems. And he works down, he describes the Bhumandala, and he goes up, and then he describes what is below the Bhumandala. The lowest planet, 7 planetary systems, not planets, but systems of planets. 7 up, 7 down. And so the lowest is Patala. And beneath Patala, there are the hellish planets. And when Parikshit Maharaj hears about these hellish planets, he's quite sad. When he hears how the souls that are Bahirmukha, that have turned their face away from Krishna, are tormented in different ways by the agents of Yama. He's quite distressed. And so he asks at the beginning of the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, how can the Jiva souls be protected from having to see those terrible things, from having to experience the heavenly planets? And so Sukadeva Goswami, he tells his disciple, the Emperor Parikshit Maharaj, he said if they do some pious works, some good deeds, they can be saved from hell. Parikshit Maharaj, he looks at his guru. Are you serious? Are you telling the truth? And he realizes this is a test. And so he says, I can't accept this answer. Because he says that the pious, the punya activities, the karma, kanda rituals that you perform, they're like the elephant's bath. Maybe some of you have been to Mayapur. We have the elephants of Radhamarama, and sometimes you see them taking bath. Otherwise, some of you are from South India. You must have seen Guru Mayur in Kerala. The elephants, they have a peculiar habit. They take bath and then they like to roll in the dirt. Somehow it's like you take bath, maybe put some moisturizer afterwards. The elephants, they take bath, they roll in the dirt and throw sand on themselves. They take the trunk, throw dirt. Somehow it helps them keep the moisture in their body. And so Parikshit Maharaj says the punya rituals, the karma kanda rituals, yes, they may purify of some sin, but it is like the elephant's bath because the mentality of the conditioned soul, it remains. And so your answer is correct, but it is not satisfying. It will not protect the jiva souls from having to see the hellish realms. Please tell me some other process. And so Sukadeva Goswami, he replies, he says, oh yes, there is another practice. That is called tapas. And by jnana, by knowledge, you can become detached. Jnana, vairagya. And by discipline of the senses, of tapasya, then the soul can be freed from having to see these disturbing things. So jnana, knowledge, will give you, like maybe you have some attachment, for eating lots of sweets. Yeah. We won't ask you all to raise your hands, but if that attachment is there, then maybe you'll get some knowledge. Too much sweets, it can cause diabetes. And then you have that jnana, you will be hesitant. So jnana can be helpful, so knowledge can be helpful, then you will do the tapas. Okay, you'll see the sweets. No, we'll not have that. It's tasty for now, but later on I will be struggling and suffering. So like this, jnana can be helpful, but again, Parikshit Maharaj rejected this reply. He said, this is like the forest. Sorry, this is quite the He said, this is like the bamboos. They rub together and make some fire, and then the bamboo forest burns. So the bamboo forest of material attachment, it will burn. Yeah, the jnana is like the knowledge, creates a fire and burns up these proclivities. He said that then the root is still there. And so for now, the bamboo forest has been burned, but the root is there. When there is some rain, those roots will become shoots, and again you'll have the bamboo forest. So he said, this is also not satisfactory. Is there some other process? Yeah, I'll just stand up for a second. 1 second.
Chair. You want a chair, bro? Yeah, just put him a chair. No, there is a chair, bro.
Forgive me.
Yeah.
So he asked, Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami, is there some other process? And Sukadeva Goswami was very, very happy. You have rejected my 2 replies, like with some other conversation. Maybe you'll be reminded. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has this conversation with Prahalad, right? What is the process to achieve the goal? Prahalad said, Varnashram. Chaitanya said, well, that's external. Tell me something more. Like this, he rejected his replies, and he brought him all the way up to describing the prema bhakti, the love of the Brajbasis, and then finally to describing the love of Srimati Radharani for Krishna. That is the highest goal, to serve Krishna with that kind of love. So here also, Parikshit Maharaj is rejecting his guru's replies respectfully, asking him, tell me more, don't cheat me. And so Sukadeva Goswami was very pleased. He said, yes, there is one process, and one process only, and that is bhakti. By practicing devotional service to Krishna, the soul can be saved from every sin, the hellish roads. And he said, particularly, chanting the holy name. He said, the holy name is so powerful. It won't just destroy the surface level attachments. It won't just destroy the form of attachment, but it will destroy the very seeds, so that there can be no shoots coming up, there can be no more ritu samsara, there can be no more possibility for the soul to remain in material existence. And he explained that the holy name is so powerful that it doesn't matter about the qualifications of the chanter. It doesn't matter whether this person is high-born or low-born, whether this person is very learned or not, whether this person is wealthy or poor, whatever the situation, bhakti is independent. It is not dependent on a material context. It is transcendent. And then Sukadeva Goswami decided to give Parikshit Maharaj an example. Who knows what the example was? The example he gave was Ajamila. Ajamila, he explained, was someone born in a family of a Brahmana family, raised to be a disciplined, virtuous, dharmic person. But one day saw something inauspicious that disturbed his mind. He saw he saw a man and a woman embracing in the forest. Not just embracing, they were intimate. And this disturbed this young boy's mind. He was there in the forest to collect some kusha grass and some firewood for his father's puja and sacrifice. And when he saw this, his mind was agitated. And he left his father's service and he became associated with a prostitute. That was not sanctioned, so in order to maintain their family, they had children, he would steal and cheat and rob, and he did all kinds of sinful activities, murder. And so he was living the most, from being in the most exalted position, he became the most, he lived the most vulnerable life. In his old age, I think the Bhagavatam says he was something like 87. He had another child, and by good fortune, he named this child Narayana. He named this child one of the names of the Supreme Lord. And so, in his old age, there was not much affection that he was receiving from other family members. But this youngest son, Narayana, very small and innocent, he showed lots of affection. He gave lots of affection to his father. And so he was Ajamila's only real shelter, actually. And so when Ajamila saw the agents of death coming for him, he saw the Avadutas, but he also saw his small son playing. And so he called Narayana, Narayana, come here. Narayana, with great intensity, with great anxiety, Narayana, come here, come to me. And as the Yamadutas approached, and Ajamila called more intensely, Narayana, come to me. The Vishnudutas, the agents of Vishnu, came, and they stopped the Yamadutas, and they said, you cannot take him. And the Yamadutas said, why? He's a sinful man. You don't know his story. He was this, and he became that. He belongs to us. He's our custody. We will take him to Yamaraj for justice. And the Vishnuduta said, everything you said is true, except you have not taken into account that he chanted the holy name. He chanted the holy name of Lord Narayana. Therefore, you have no jurisdiction over him. And the Vishnuduta said, maybe you will say that he chanted the holy name unequivocally. He didn't intend to chant the holy name. He was chanting the name of his son. And he said, the Vishnuduta said, but that doesn't matter. Because he uttered the names, the syllables of the names of the Supreme Lord in this most, this moment of crisis, then you cannot take him. And the Vishnuduta said, if you don't believe us, then you should go and ask Yamaraj. So they left. The Yamadutas left, the Vishnudutas left. Ajamila woke up from his soul returned to his body, and he realized, I had just escaped the jaws of death. And those Vaishnavas, those Vishnudutas, the Vishnudana, they have saved me, and now I must be serious. So he went to, where did he go? Haridwar. He went to Haridwar, at the bank of the Ganges, and he stayed there and he practiced bhakti. At the bank of the Ganges, he served Vishnu. There was a Vishnu temple, he did seva, and he chanted Harinam. And after some time, some years, then those same Vishnudutas returned with a Vaikuntha Viman, and they invited him, please come. It is now your time to enter the spiritual sky. Meanwhile, the Yamadutas, they went to their Lord Dharmaraj, and they said, who's the boss? Really? We thought you were the Supreme Lord. But now we see there is some higher power, and we are very confused. And Yamaraj said, Lord, I'm not the Supreme Lord. I'm the devotee of Lord Narayana. He is the Supreme Lord, and we are engaged in his service. He told the Yamadutas that what you have learned from the Vishnudutas is correct. He said, you must bring me all the sinful people that never bring me any Vaishnava. Those are beyond your jurisdiction. You cannot touch them. Don't go near them. They are under Krishna's own protection. And he became a bit worried that these Vaishnavas, they are protected by the club of Vishnu. And my servants, the Yamadutas, they tried to bring one of these Vaishnavas to me. This is an aparad. And so he led the Yamadutas in offering a prayer of apology to Lord Vishnu. Please forgive us if we have made any offense to your devotees. So this was Sukadeva Goswami's response to the question of Parikshit Maharaj. How can souls be freed or protected from ever seeing the abode of Yamaraj, from ever seeing the hellish planets? It's not just a story, it's a gift that is given to us in the Srimad Bhagavatam. If we take it seriously, we can be protected. And more than that, we can awaken our eternal relationship with Krishna. In this 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami tells other stories to reinforce this point. And we will not attempt to even summarize them now due to limited time, but I will skip and I will fast forward. One of those stories is the story of Chitraketu. His story is very interesting because he was an attached householder. He had 1 million wives, but he had no son, so he was distressed. And then Angira Rishi gave him a blessing. Here, you take this prasad from the yajna. He performed the yajna. There's some prasad from that. He said, you take that and you give it to one of your queens, and she'll give you a child. So he followed that, and his wife Krita Juti soon became pregnant, and thereafter gave birth to a son. Chitraketu was overjoyed, and he celebrated, and the kingdom celebrated, and gave charity to invoke blessings upon this child. And he gave all his affections to this child and the child's mother. The problem is that the other wives, 999,000, felt neglected. And so they plotted in their envy. Envy can make us do silly things. So they plotted to poison the child. And so when Chitraketu found his son dead, he was devastated. And at that time, Angira returned along with Narad Muni. And Angira, he said to him, earlier I wanted to give you some spiritual instruction, but I couldn't because you were very desirous of, you could only think about having a child. But this is the nature of things in the material world. We receive them, but we also lose them. Everything here is temporary. Now you should take to spiritual life. And so Narada Muni gave him a mantra. And he said, if you chant this mantra, you will have Shakshat Darshan with the Supreme Lord. And so Chitraketu, he took this very seriously. He chanted this mantra, and within 10 days, he had darshan of Lord Shankarshan. Jai. Within 10 days. And he became a pure devotee. Who can have darshan of the Lord? Only the pure devotee can have this darshan. And so Shankarshan blessed him. He made him also the king of the Vidyadhars. And so he was traveling one day in his viman, in an airplane, and he saw something that amused him. He saw Lord Shiva sitting with many rishis surrounding him. But then something that was perplexing to Chitraketu was that on Shiva's lap was sitting his wife, Parvati, and his arm was also around her. So around him were all the sannyasis, renunciants, And they were all taking darshan with Shiva, who had his wife on his lap and his arm around her, and he thought this was humorous. So he laughed. There is some contradiction there, yeah? So he laughed loudly, and Parvati was very angry. She caused him to become a demon. So he came down from his plane, he went to Parvati and Shiva, he offered his humble obeisances and apologized. He said, Mother Parvati, you have been kind to me, because it is the mother's role to chastise her children. And so you have given me some chastisement, so you're showing you're taking me as your son. And I'm very grateful for that. And when he left, Shiva said, you see the character of the devotees of Narayan. He didn't become upset. He could have counter-cursed you. He's also very powerful. He didn't defend himself. He apologized and he took your curse as some kind of blessing. This is the character of the devotees of Narayan. Narayana Parasavre Naka Tashkara Vidyati Svarna Pavarga Narake Kapituya Tadarshana. So very interesting to the context of this first question from this sixth canto. How can they be freed from seeing hell? Here, Lord Shiva says, these devotees, whether they are in heaven or hell, it doesn't matter. It's a whole different perspective on this question. The devotees of Narayan, they are always satisfied because they're always seeing the Lord, they're always remembering the Lord, they're always feeling his darshan, they're always having his darshan by chanting his name, by remembering him, by glorifying him. Therefore, for them, whether they are in heaven or in hell, it doesn't make any difference. Parikshit Maharaj was eager to save the souls from seeing hell. Initially, Sukadeva Goswami said, Vaishnavas won't see. Lord Shiva is saying, whether they see or not, it doesn't matter. For everyone else, it matters. But for the Vaishnava, it doesn't matter. Because they have the holy name. Because they have Krishna. Chitraketu had received the holy name from Narad Muni. He was chanting that mantra and seeing the Lord himself face to face. He always carried that vision in his heart. So whether he sees or not, the hellish realm doesn't matter. He is with Krishna. So he became a demon. He could have countered it, but he took that position. He became a demon, but in body only. In mentality, he was a Vaishnava. He was invoked from the yajna of Tvashta. It's a longer story. I said we will not summarize. And he was sent to fight with Indra. When he came before Indra and the demigods, they fled. They were so afraid of this fearsome demon. And this demon, his name was Vritrasura, he said, come back. Why are you afraid? Do your duty. If you die in battle, doesn't matter. You will be doing your duty. You're doing your seva. If you're victorious, it's good. If you die, it's also good. You will get credit. Like Krishna told Arjuna and Gita. Because he is of this consciousness. For the devotee, it doesn't matter. Live or die. Jivana maroma. Doesn't matter. So come and do your duty. He wasn't ready for that. So he got some weapon by the arrangement of Vishnu from Dadichi's sacrifice. Came back with his weapon, faced Vritrasura, but then he was doubting, does this weapon really work? This demon is really scary. So he took his dagger. He was used to using that dagger, threw it at Vritrasura, which is sort of caught it, like, what are you using the gada for? Threw it back at Indra's elephant, and Aravata's pushed back. Indra is almost knocked from his elephant. And Vritrasura said, use your gada, use your new weapon, your vajra. It was given to you by Vishnu to kill me. You have no faith? You don't believe in the Lord's words? Have faith. Take the vajra that was given to you by the arrangement of Vishnu and kill me. And Indra was still scared. And so Vritrasura said, oh my Lord, he prayed, dear Vishnu, whatever happens, please always engage me in your devotional service. He's not ready to do his service, but I'm trying to do mine. Whatever happens, always let me be engaged in your devotional service. Always let me be your devotee, and always let me be the devotee of your devotees, such as Narad Muni. He specifically mentions him. His guru who gave him the mantra in his previous life, he's remembering him. So finally, Indra got some faith. He sees that Vritrasura is praying, okay, I should also have some faith. He has faith, I'm supposed to be the demigod. So he came with his Vajra and he chopped off Vritrasura's arms. So Vritrasura is doing his duty, he fights with his mouth. He swallowed Indra. But Indra had his Vajra, so he cut himself. Actually, Vritrasura must have told him, hey, you're inside me now. Use your Vajra to cut yourself out. Keep fighting, don't give up. So Indra cut himself out, and then he severed Vritrasura's head from his body. It took a year. He was that big, that powerful. It took a year. And the whole time, Vritrasura was initially preaching and then praying. And so Indra, he knew, I'm doing Vaishnava aparad here. This is a Vaishnava. I'm going to be in trouble for this. What will happen now? And he was, Brahmahatya, it's a serious thing. That theme, like what you do to be saved from hell, now Indra's in trouble. He's been, anyway. In the end, what he has to do, he does some tapas, it helps him for a little. He hides inside a lotus stem for 1,000 years, does some tapas that way. But in the end, he has to do some Vishnu Bhakti. It's only Vishnu Bhakti that can free him from his condition. So, we have a few minutes, we'll sing some Kirtan. Sing with attention, sing with your outer voice and inner voice. This morning in the class, those of you who heard in here or online, I was speaking about the chattering mind. Now engage your mind, chattering, by chanting. Stop chattering, start chanting. So when your mouth is saying the mantra, make sure your mind is also saying the mantra. And when your ears are hearing the mantra, make sure your mind is also hearing. And you will find it's very powerful when you line up your subtle body and your physical body together. When your physical body is chanting and your subtle body is doing something else, there's benefit. But try this. Get your physical body to chant and also have your subtle body to chant as well. And you'll feel it's very, very powerful. It's your exercise for the next few minutes. We have.
If you want, we can set up a table.
Oh, it's okay. That was just occasional.
We can dance or sit down?
You will dance. Okay.
No, I'm asking.
Sit down because we will concentrate and then. We'll start sitting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, this is the song. Krishna, Hare Hare,
One more time, raise your arms in the air. Make sure your soul body is also chanting with your physical body. Hare Krishna, 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 Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Krishna Prabhupada ki Jai,
Shri Prahalad Prabhu ki
Actually, just to jog your memories, Shri Prahalad Prabhu came for our date installation.
Yes.
And he was part of the date installation. And he told me like after 4 years, break is coming again. And so actually, our Saksaro said, we should chant so loud that he would be so inspired to come again. So let us express our gratitude to Shri Prahalad Prabhu. Loudly, much louder. Shri Prahalad Prabhu ki Jai. Ki Jai. Radha Gopinjan Bhagavan ki Jai. Jai Tadpam Bhagavan ki Jai. Prabhupada ki Jai. So next program, any question answers?
I beg your pardon? Oh,
Any question answers or Kissan?
I think that's good for now.
Okay, thank you. You all should know, you should come here 11 o'clock. You were sitting here, nobody was there. Nobody was there is maybe, wrong thing. You were there, right? Yeah. 5 people were there? So 3 times helpful. 5 people were there when he came. But please, let us not do that again next time. So such an illustrious personality who travels all over the world, a professor by profession, but a genuine preacher, promoter of Krishna consciousness by heart. So, honestly speaking, I didn't come down because I knew not many people are there. I started calling, please come down. So, but anyway, what is that? I'm asking apologies, Prabhuji, please forgive us, Michigan people get up a little late.
You were happy that the bodies were here, trees were here. All men will see. No offense. No, we're just grateful. Any service that somebody can do. We're grateful. Kishore was
Yeah.
that was the main thing.
What is it? Kishore.
Kishore.
So very grateful to Kishore Prabhu Let us express our gratitude to Diksha Prabhu also. 3 days. Respect to the time we are all present. So let us express our gratitude. Prabhu's on Hare Krishna movie. You can join at the end because Prasad is there. And you can join from the middle, from the beginning, because Kirtan is amazing. You can join also in the middle. Shubhas. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So when we devotees are asking when we come again, you are moving to New York.
You have to ask them. I know where we go. I also didn't know I was coming.
Devotees, Prasad is being served outside. Please take Prasad before you leave. Tomorrow Sunday Feast program is there. Those of you who do not know, come to Sunday Feast at 12 o'clock. Tulsi Aarti, Guru Puja, and regular Aarti and Prasad. One more thing. So many great devotees are coming in less than a month. How many of you want to hear the names?